It's Monday, December the 2nd. There's a dead deer there. It's such a shame, right? People move into... I mean, it's not to say that we shouldn't be here. We're here. We need a place to live, but it's so sad when we just cut down swaths of trees to make room for more people, or to sell our lumber to other countries, or anyway, I could go off. I hope you guys are really all doing well. I hope you're getting ready for Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas. I'm torn on the Christmas thing because I grew up with Christmas. Everybody in my family celebrated Christmas for long before I was born. At the same time, as an adult, I don't really do birthdays. I don't really do Christmas. Anything to me that I have to do now and then undo just so I can redo it again later, put up all your Christmas decorations or buy annual plants, buy fucking perennials, buy that shit once. You know what I mean? So, I have enough trouble getting through the shit I do on a regular basis. Never mind, let's decorate a tree and all this shit. And, I don't know. I guess we all have, issues that we put off on our kids. And I said to my kid the other day, I'm like, because she knows about Christmas. She knows there's no Santa Claus. And I'm like, she knows there's no tooth fairy. When she lost her last baby tooth, and I was like, I can pretend to be the tooth fairy. If you want, I can put $2 under your pillow, but you know what's going on now, so, do we want to keep playing this game? I don't really, Christmas has got nothing to do with Jesus at all. But it's hardwired into my programming that Christmas is a thing. And I fucking don't have any money to be buying people shit for Christmas. I really don't. And I know even for, it's a weird dynamic, right? Not celebrating Christmas. When you're a kid, you get so excited. And it's programmed right into you. I mean, right from the first Christmas of a baby screaming, sitting on Santa Claus's knee, Satan Claus. Of course you're screaming, sitting on his knee. You don't want to be there. It's a big fucking man dressed up in a suit that you don't know. I don't know, just seems so weird and fucked up when you look back on it. But if you do celebrate Christmas, it's supposed to be Jesus' birthday, which it really isn't. Anybody who knows anything knows that it isn't. But if that's what you... Anyway, it's the same thing for Christmas, right? I always made the kid decorate the tree. You want it up? You decorate. I mean, other than when she was little, but when she was little, she wanted to decorate it. So I was like, perfect. Let's put that fake Christmas tree up. And let's have her decorate it. I'll take pictures. Excellent. I don't have to do any of it. Of course, I have to do the takedown. And takedown isn't the same as it was when I was a kid, because my mom used to use tinsel. Shit was everywhere. I don't know why I went off on Christmas, but there it is. My channel. If that's what's on my mind, I guess that's what's coming out of my mouth. I'm working on being a better person. And I went through some more stuff and many things that I didn't post about. And I've made a ton of videos that I thought I was going to post, and maybe this one will be one of those too. But I made a ton of videos that are just sitting on my phone because it's I need to get this stuff out. And I wonder if other people go through the same anxieties and things. And so I make these videos thinking that perhaps if anyone is feeling the same way that I do, that they'll know they're not alone. So I've been through some things, and I started to just, I have Lyme, apparently. According to the tests, there's nothing showing. According to my symptoms, my doctor thinks I have Lyme. I ended up in the hospital with full-blown Lyme arthritis, which from what I have read means that I had it for such a long time that it turned into arthritis. And so I was on antibiotics, which helped to a point, and I took, anyway, I'm at a point where, it is what it is. I have pain all the time in my knee. My cognition is not what it should be. I already had a brain injury from a car accident, so now my cognition is even worse than it was before. I have a really big problem planning stuff. Like, my friend had a birthday party for her son. It was Saturday night, and I even had it in my calendar for Sunday, and I was moving along based on it was Sunday, and I just couldn't even get past the fact of, like, just confirming. I was like, nope, that's what it is. Let's go with that. Like, I am having these problems, but it doesn't show up on the test as Lyme, and according to my doctor, it can be, she said, up to 20% false negatives. Who even knows, right? The more I learn, the less I know, the more I'm convinced that they don't fucking know either, or it's been done on purpose. The amount of people I see walking around with a limp, the same way I limp now that I've had this, I notice it everywhere. It's the same limp. And anyway, I don't know what the point of that is. I'm trying to work on myself. My body is very weak from the Lyme, and my mind is very weak from the Lyme and the brain injury. So I'm working really hard to do what I can to fix that. But anyhow, that's not the point either. I mean, we all go through shit. That's just my shit. You guys, I mean, a lot of people out there are going through all sorts of things. No food, no place to live. If you have a place to live, you can't afford food at the same time, or you can't afford both of those things and heat. Or you have pets and your landlord is no longer the same and doesn't take pets, or like, you know, or your pet gets sick and dies. Your vet bills are out of control because of all the vaccines and expensive food you're supposed to be feeding your pets, and food for yourself is crazy. Like, oh my gosh, the cost of just surviving is absolutely astonishing. It's astonishing. I had somebody ask me if I could make fruitcake for Christmas. Had I never done it before, and being the person who, I'm not using like canned crap, I'm not, it's gonna be made with real ingredients, because that's what I do. So to make a fruitcake, it was like $100 worth of ingredients by the time you get all the weight of, and you want to obviously buy more than you need, blah blah blah, it's a big process. But just to make a fruitcake, you see, grocery stores selling like a pack of 2 steaks for like $20. But it's almost at the point where it's cheaper to run your family through the friggin' drive-through than it is to make a meal and do the cleanup and do all that shit. So I can see why people definitely spend a lot of money doing takeout. So it doesn't matter which way you turn, this shit's expensive. And then you've got police cars that are Teslas, right? And people on welfare who are immigrants who don't speak English, and you're funding that. And you're funding $9 billion, I heard, towards the Ukrainian war. We're not at fucking war in Canada. Why are we funding somebody else's fucking war? Why are we sending money to Israel so that and then I don't have confirmation on this shit, but I mean, everybody sends money to Israel. Why? So they can bomb the shit out of the Palestinians? You might not agree with their religion, and I don't. I don't like to see it here. I certainly don't think that women should have to cover up in a burqa. Fuck, I'm not wearing that shit. And when you come here, you leave that shit behind because it's not part of our culture, and you shouldn't be bringing it here. But when I go to Saudi Arabia, you better believe that I best be wearing a fucking burqa, or whatever the fuck, the hijab, whatever the fuck it is they wear. I'm certainly not wearing my tinfoil hat and my hair down, or, cleavage, or any of that shit when you go there. Why is it that when you go to some other country, you have to respect our culture, but when you come here, you don't have to do it, and Canadians are proud of that they don't have a culture? What the fuck is wrong with you people? You don't have a backbone or a set of brass either. You don't have anything. You don't have a culture. Your children don't have a culture. They don't know what to believe in because everything goes. Not all your fucking feelings are valid. Not everybody's feelings are valid. You don't look at a serial rapist and say, well, your feelings are valid. No, dude, you can feel whatever you want, but you can't act on that shit. Ugh. Not all of your actions are valid. Maybe your feelings are, but no, you know what? If you're having feelings of certain things that need to be fixed so that you're not hurting people. I had to leave a group of moms who, like, absolutely, the group called itself, it straight up said that it wasn't censored. But when I posted something medically, a Gabor Mate video talking about ADHD and how it's connected to trauma, they wouldn't post it. Because if your ADHD is connected to trauma, then you can fix it. And they don't want to fix it, they want to bask in it. Right? Anytime they had an issue, they're like, oh, you know, my 3-year-old won't leave me alone long enough that I can take a break. Really? Don't you have boundaries in life? Like, that is trauma. Dude, you've got trauma. You need to get over this stuff so that you can move on and not pass the shit on to your kids. But when you tell people to take accountability for their behavior, I mean, it's all cyclical, right? The people don't want to get out of their pajamas long enough to go get a fucking job, and then the government uses that as an excuse to indulge in immigration and bring way too many people to our country. And like, it's just a circle. You're on welfare because you can't find a job or don't want to or don't want to get out of your jammies long enough to get a fucking job. And why would you? When a minimum wage job pays you almost the same as welfare if you're living a shitty life with, like, your whole family. How many people live with their mom, their dad, stepdad usually, brothers and sisters, and they're all fucking on welfare? And they're all collecting money for daycaring each other's kids. And it's like this whole fucking scheme that goes on. They need appliances, they get it. And that's just the Canadian lazy asses. Like, if you can work and you're on welfare, you're a piece of shit. It's that simple. It really is. Because it's reasons of people like that who, they're the reason, not the reason, but a reason, I'm sure, maybe, that people who are veterans who work their lives and risk their lives for their country and paid taxes, and people who work their whole life, even if they're not a veteran, they paid into this system. You know, there's people who started out, you know, their paycheck paid for a nice life, and now their pension means they can afford their medication or their food, right? I mean, Halifax has homeless seniors, old people as a couple who lived in a house their whole life and lose their house because their pension isn't enough to pay their fucking property taxes. Are you kidding? But you've got entire hotels and floors of hotels with migrants from every fucking where who have absolutely no intention of getting a job ever. They've never had a job because that's just not how it is where they come from. And we're just, like, supposed to pay for them because we feel fucking bad for them. I don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for the grandma who can't walk down the street in her own town without being assaulted. Or how about your teenage girls who should be able to out in the summertime? Without being fucking assaulted by people who just think that they're meat because they're not covered up wearing burqas and shit. And this is not new. Like, people blame Trudeau for this immigration shit, and he hugely contributed to it. Oh my god, don't even get me started. Roxham Road, all the other border crossings that I don't know about, the legal, quote, legal scheme that they have going on in Nova Scotia specifically was a test pilot area to fund bringing these people here. So not only do they come here and take our welfare, our taxes paid to actually get them here. And to me, that just seems like a big money siphoning thing. You know, this war in Ukraine, it's just money siphoning. We're not giving all that money to war. Are you kidding? Ukrainian people, if there even is a war going on over there. I don't know. I don't go there. Even if you see it on TV, like, it's fake, CNN fake. It's been shown to be fake, and so many people still buy this shit and can't spot it. Now, with that said, the fakes are getting better because the technology is getting better. But it's a goddamn fucking shit show, and sometimes I find myself stuck watching it. You know, like, I know it's all a stage. The whole world is a stage. Everything is a stage, and I am, like, fascinated, or have been until I am making it in the moment a conscious decision to get away from this shit, to not sit there waiting for every little detail of the Diddy shit, or you know, I mean, I believe that this shit is crumbling. It's starting to crumble. As some asshat said the other day, I wrote what I always say, which is get off grid, grow your own food, arm yourselves, and make friends with like-minded people. And he's like, that's the stupidest thing you could say. As if they're going to not find you. Of course they're going to find us. They know where all of us are. Of course they're going to find us. But he also posted that he doesn't, anti-COVID vaccine. Okay. So then when you go ahead and get that COVID vaccine, or go ahead and say you're not going to take the vaccine and you're not going to wear a mask in the grocery store like I did, I'm not going to do these things. When they say you can't come in anymore and buy your groceries, if you haven't moved yourself out of town and connected with like-minded people, farmers who have eggs and meat and all the things that you're going to need, and started to grow your own vegetables and can and preserve your stuff in a community of other people who are doing that, where are you going to get your food? When Superstore won't let you in, I mean, you see the corrals they built since the last one, and they said it's because of stealing. It's not stealing, dude. It's a fucking metal bar to keep you out. If it was due to stealing, why is it you can't come in until these doors open? And you come in and you realize the cart you need is on the other side, and when you go back out through the door, this fucking alarm goes off. Like, it's stupid. Don't tell me it's about stealing. The fucking Westons are making money hand over fist. So, yeah, these people, and let's not forget how many people are on medication. So when people can no longer afford their medication, or there's so many people living in the vicinity buying that medication that the pharmacy runs out, or the supply chain breaks down, or they won't let you into the pharmacy to get your medication without your juice or your face diaper, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? What is everyone around you going to do? Some of the people on medication who are free-ranging, walking around, are fucking psychotic and shouldn't be out in public. What do you think they're going to do? What's going to happen when they start losing their minds because they can't get their medication for whatever variety of reasons? I don't want to be there. I want to be somewhere out. Right? Somewhere that these zombified people who are angry and have nothing to lose will likely not be able to organize to get to where I am. If I lived like right there and I have a basement full of preserves and food or potentially drugs, do you think they're like, these shows that you watch are predictive programming? They really are. They really are. The Walking Dead, I think is what it was called. It's fascinating because it's predictive programming. It's so that when you see it coming, you'll already have it in the back of your mind. Everything is a game. Everything is 3D chess. I'm happy that what appears to be... I'm cautiously optimistic about Donald Trump. If he is what he says he is and is going to do what he says he's going to do, then I'm happy with that. And it put another nail in the coffin for him, for me. I don't know if that's a negative or a positive, but when I was listening to Allie Carter talk about all the things that she's been through, and she said that not only did she never meet him, which is obviously a positive because of the people she's been forced to interact with, she never met him. But when he was the president, she said that he legitimately shut down some of these. I don't know why we're not calling it what it is. It's slavery. You know, and I don't know if this will get my video shut down or whatever, but, you know, if Diddy was a white guy, if they caught, like, Eminem and, let's say, the Beastie Boys, a bunch of white rappers with a bunch of these black girls, it would be all about the racism. But it's not. It's Diddy. And I mean, he had some white chicks, but it looks like the majority of shit that he did was to black chicks. Why? Why is that? And that's not to, like, it's not a race thing. It's a slavery thing. It's an opportunistic thing. It's like when the people from wherever they went to Africa, they didn't round up slaves. They bought the black slaves from other black slave owners and sellers. It's not about the color of our skin. Like I'm noticing a lot of YouTubers are like, you know, they're talking about it as like it's not, it's, I don't know, it's way bigger than that. Like P. Diddy is like somebody took one of the slaves and put him in charge of all the slaves, if you will. That's like a gross example of an imagery. Like, he's doing this to a bunch of black people, but it's not being called racist, even though the people who are handling Diddy likely have small hats. We know the group of people who's in charge of this shit. Why isn't anybody looking at that? They're cutting off the arm to save the body. He did all this shit, but he's not the head of the snake. And I don't know what to do here, because on the one hand, I'm watching all of my predictions come to fruition. Like, I can't even watch a movie anymore. I can't watch a TV show. I know it's all, like, not only did I know it, and we haven't had TV in a really long, but Bell gives you fucking free TV, so from time to time there's something on. But you know, it's just for entertainment value. The people in these shows have, especially movies and high profile, I mean, all these people have to go through rituals. Rappers, I mean, I don't know if 50 Cent ever, I don't know if dude ever dressed up like a girl or what, because I kind of I was a rap person when it was, you know, the Beastie Boys and TLC and Run DMC and Public Enemy, and I never ever liked Diddy. I think the last time I really liked anything with rap was like Ludacris, 50 Cent, Eminem. Obviously, I'm a fucking white chick and I love rap, so like all the Eminem shit right up until Encore, and then after that I never listened to him. And his stuff that didn't make it onto his albums was better, from what I was able to find back in the day. And again, maybe they did make him onto his later album, but after Encore, I just stopped listening to the dude. I don't know, I grew up, I'm not saying he changed, everybody changes, everything changes, so I just kind of grew out of it. And I liked 50 Cent, and I liked Ludacris. I think that I never ever liked P. Diddy. I never liked Dr. Dre specifically. It never did anything for me. Diddy is gross. The dude gives me the creeps. And a lot of those people gave me the fucking creeps. They felt an energy about them, and I didn't like it, and then I didn't like their music and what they were talking about, and all the slutty chicks in their videos, and it was so disgusting. There was nothing, and you know what, with that said, I go to dances from time to time, and I fucking love that music, but when I listen to Eminem and 50 Cent, like, their fucking music is gross too. So they were in on the hip-hop train, and even, you know, as back far as the Beastie Boys, right? Listen to Paul Revere, and that, you know, shit that they sing about was inappropriate too. But then you go back further, and it's not just the rap music; it's all music. It's all the music. Black Betty, right? I mean, back in the day, I guess they had songs like "Smoke on the Water," and their message was a little more subliminal. But now it's like, you know, spike that chick's drink and bend her over the table. Like, it's fucking gross. It's bad messaging for boys and for girls. And we all know about the music executive meeting where they told people we gotta start putting people in prison and getting them to do shit so that we can make money. You know what? And again, I've been talking about this shit for so long that it's painful that I have to keep talking about this stuff, that people would rather not listen to me and then find out later that I was right instead of preparing for the shit that's coming. Right? I moved out to the woods in 2018 because I knew shit was coming down the pike. I heard about the CRISPR experiment and I was like, oh... Yeah, we gotta get out. I don't know what's coming, but we gotta get out of the city. And even the small towns. Like, I was in Bridgewater yesterday, and I pulled into a parking lot, and on all sides of me were cars with, like, immigrants in them. I could hear them speaking not English. And I actually was super uncomfortable, because there's groups of them here, and you know they're not from here. They're not from here, and they don't have the respect. I talked to somebody who was at the Tim Hortons in Bridgewater and saw an immigrant girl being assaulted by some guy, immigrant guy, and him and his friends went over and said, you know, we don't do that shit here. But they don't care. Anyway, I went way off the track. I guess I had a lot to say. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope none of you guys is dealing with homelessness or trying to live in a tent. But definitely try to not... I guess that's... I have been consumed by this shit. The Diddy stuff, the politics, the Trump, the Trudeau, the taxes, Pierre Poilievre. Like, nobody is coming to save us. And it's all cyclical, right? The Imagination podcast on Rumble or on any platform except YouTube because they fucking took her down. You know, people talk about clones and tunnels and like P. Diddy didn't build those fucking tunnels. Right? These tunnels are not new. These are things. P. Diddy didn't build these tunnels. They all talk about the tunnels. Every fucking survivor of this satanic shit, they talk about tunnels. They talk about all the things that go on underground. Don't be fooled any longer. It doesn't matter if you're just waking up now, as long as you just do wake up. Because, oh my God. It's so bad. It's so bad. Right? Doritos and Pepsi are fine for you, but don't drink raw milk. The logic there. And until you, like, actually stop and think about that, even that little statement, like, actually meditate on it. And think about it and process how scary that is. Like, everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. The whole world is a stage. All of those things are true. They have to tell you what they are doing. And it's slavery. And you can't even say that it's modern day slavery, except that it kind of is, in the sense that the people above Diddy put him in a position to enslave the entire industry along with his friends, and I can't wait to see what comes out about Jay-Z, because I think that, I mean, yeah, I can't even get started on these people. The Clintons, like, they're all, and this is where I'm lost, is why is to nobody talking about the Menendez brothers? Those boys were portrayed in the media as though they were some rich, snobby kids who murdered their parents in an unbelievable massacre for money. And the judge who heard the original case, oh, I forget which judge. The first judge heard all the stuff about them being abused since the time they were, I believe, 6 and 8. Not just by the dad, you guys. Let's stop confirmation biasing and eliminating information that we really don't want to hear. These boys were forced, at least one of them for sure was forced, according to his words, and I believe them. Grown men don't break down on the fucking stand the way these kids do if this shit didn't really happen to them. You can't watch their testimony and not know that they're telling the truth. You can't. If you can, there's something wrong with you, and you might look into your own history. And all that testimony was excluded from their second trial, and they spent 30 years in jail. And their dad and their mom both abused them in disgusting ways. And their dad was on the ground floor of the boy band movement. He was the producer or manager for Menudo, which was Ricky Martin's band, and one of the kids in that band talked about how he gave them a substance and knocked them out, and the kid woke up bleeding and in agonizing pain. He was a kid, like, I don't know, early teens, maybe not even a teen yet. So those Menendez brothers saved a shit. Well, I mean, all it's a vacuum, right? One guy is taken out and another guy is right there to take his place. But it was the exact same industry system that is happening with P. Diddy, right? That P. Diddy's involved in. It's all the same system. We have to stop separating this. Black, white, it doesn't matter. Everyone is getting screwed. Literally and figuratively, everyone. All of us. Right? Diddy enslaves a nation of rappers, and you've got, essentially all the other genres. Mostly everything is hip-hop now. There's not even really any other kind of music. Even country is nasty hip-hop now. Nothing is good. Nothing. There's no good music at all. Except, in my opinion, there's like Paul McDonald. I'm open to hearing other names, but I don't have the time to go and find them. My child listens to good music, but for some reason she thinks I won't like it, so she doesn't let me hear it. I don't know what her issue is, but some of her music is really good. She likes the church music and the happy, like, good message music, but that shit's hard to find. Anyhow, we're coming up to Christmas. I feel like I had a message, and I hope that I covered it. It's a long video of me just ranting. I hope you guys are doing stuff to try to minimize the psychological effect that all this shit is having on yourself and your kids. It's an active action, I guess. You have to decidedly stand up, turn off the whatever it is, not you, like I'm talking to myself, to just put it down. To just put it down. Take your dog for a walk, take yourself for a walk, go out in nature, collect Uznia, go find Uznia. That'll be like a job for whoever you are, wherever you live, whatever's going on in your life. Uznia, if you look it up. If I knew how to make videos, I would put a picture of it in the thing, but it's USNEA, and it's a greenish, yellowish item that falls off of trees after a windstorm. I can't walk anywhere around my place without it. There's tons of it. It's everywhere. Just go out in nature, go through a park, look it up online, You can tell that it's usnea. It comes generally in a clump, and after a windstorm, at least here in Nova Scotia, you'll find it everywhere. It's like a green, fluffy, and it's kind of looks like a sea creature. And if you'll see it hanging from the trees. It's also known as old man's beard, but make sure that it's usnea. And the way that you know is that when you squeeze it and give it a little bit of a pull, there's an elastic element to it. Before it snaps off, it kind of stretches like an elastic, and you can see that happen, and that's how you know it's the real thing. And you can make a tincture out of it. This is not medical advice. This is for entertainment only. I can only tell you what I do. And I just recently learned about it, but I have friends who say they use it for everything. So you make a tincture out of it, so you put it in a bottle, cover it with some kind of high level of alcohol, you let it sit there for however long, at least a couple weeks in a dark cupboard or something, and then you take the liquid out with like a dropper or a teaspoon, mix it in with some water, or make tea out of it. I actually took a bunch of it and made a batch of tea, and then I put, honey and lemon and mixed it all up and put it in the fridge. So you can do all kinds of stuff with it. The benefits apparently are really good. I'm not great at staying on schedule with staying on keeping doing these things, so for me it's hard to tell if they actually help or not. But I have heard some great stuff, and I know at least 3 people who like it and use it and swear by it. So there's that. So go find some usnea. It'll take you out into nature. It'll get you touching things with your hands. It'll get you a little bit of natural remedy for different things and ailments that you might have. And it's available right now. Like, it's right now. You just say, I'm going to go get a fucking Ziploc bag full of usnea. Take a big bag. Get as much as you can. You can dry it. You can do whatever you want with it. But apparently it's got lots of benefits. So check it out. God bless you all. God bless the 23. Get off grid. Grow your own food. Arm yourselves and make friends with like-minded people.